Well, hello there, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of A Dicey Experience. My name is Jan Jason Sketch, and I am here to enthrall you all with another tale of the fates. Of course, with me this evening are the three partakers of the fates themselves, and they have their random NPCs that may or may not be joining them in the upcoming situation. To my left is a good, strong, bearded man with a good set of glasses and a nice beard. Red t-shirt and a nice red polo on. Would you like to introduce yourself, Lazy Man Gamer?
I'm glad you specified because you pretty much described everyone here. Yes, I am Lazy Man Gamer. I am playing a rabbit whose name is Jean Lafayette. He is a Harengon rogue ranger and is accompanied by the Drake Nameless.
Directly below me, on screen, not in real life, is a great man with a wonderful red beard, similar to mine, but nice black glasses and a great smile on his face. Meerkat, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, this is Meerkat, and I am playing the ever amazing Lucas Fenduia, the human cleric.
Are three of us seriously gingers?
I'm ginger-esque.
My beard is ginger. Does that count?
I really don't know. Wow. Great. 38 episodes in, and I hadn't thought about that question. Welcome to ADHD, folks. Last but not least, I guess is yeah, go ahead. Just say who you are.
I'm that guy.
Yep, that guy.
Hey everybody, it's Stolen. Tonight I am playing Cruz Saipan, the Warlock Turtle, and he is currently really scared.
As he should be. Last time, our party found themselves finally getting a guide through the sewers to go and take on finding their friends that are locked in jail. They found a grate that seemed to work out perfectly great to get them into the jail cell, only to discover that the grate was actually a mimic. They fought and dealt with this mimic for a moment. They fought and dealt with this mimic for a moment. Say that 6 times fast. And made their way into the jail cell, only to discover that their friends were definitely locked up. They were able to get them out with their new friend, Kumbo, who just broke jail cell doors, apparently, with his great barbarian strength. And were on their way out when a large man walked into the room. Brew, you are about 30 feet from the manhole hole. Between you and the manhole hole is a mimic, a bugbear, a dwarf, and a haragon. But on the other side of the room, you see a very large man, yellow-skinned, though it looks almost tough in nature. Almost like a dry skin. Black fingernails, green hair made out of crystal that look very similar to dreads, going down to the base and the nape of his neck. He's got a pinstripe suit on, buttoned up nice and neat. A couple of beautiful rings on his fingers. And a pair of, well, almost dress shoes. He brushes his coat a little bit as he walks into the room, straightens his tie. I am quite impressed, heir to my father's power, that you did make it into my home. I knew you would come, like I said, but I didn't realize it would be so noisy. When my brother mentioned that he found you out on the open seas, I didn't think it was going to be a possibility for me to find you first. How lucky for me to stumble upon your old little crew, that they might be able to start calling you home. I guess I am destined to take my father's power. Begins to step forward. Behind him, there's a barbarian and a gnome that you recognize. He continues to walk into the room, steps over the large hole, the manhole, whistles at the mimic and points to the hole, only for the mimic to grunt for a minute like an upset puppy dog who thought they were getting a chance to play, but is going to be obedient to their master, and it begins to crawl back into the hole space. I'm getting ready to try to cover it up, glaring at John's feet as it goes down. Now you see, crew, there's really not much left for you to do. Hand over the ring, I can let you and your friends go. No qualm, no foul. Or you can make it more fun and more difficult for me. It's your choice. He passes by Jean, and as he does so, the barbarian kind of puts his forearm out and pushes Jean against the jail cell behind him. Do you want to roll a strength v strength against that, Jean?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I rolled an 18. I am waiting for Adobe Acrobat to respond. 20.
He's lightly pushing against you right now. Not strong enough yet to really do much. You're kind of get your chest out, pushing out against him. He's got his forearm just kind of out, just in case you decide to do something. He rolled a 7. So what's the choice here, my friend? The Earth Genasi gets up very close to your body at this point. You can see V standing in the doorway behind him. And everyone else in the room seems very quiet. Your wonderful Drake swings his last ounce of energy and just swings a large punch in his direction. He turns and faces him, grabs Drake by the face, and just slams him down onto the floor. You hear a poof, snap. He's not dead, but Drake is definitely out cold again.
I don't know who you are, and I frankly don't care who you are. Obviously, if your supposed father gave me his powers, then you aren't worthy of it. And anybody who harms my family, current or past family, you really shouldn't do that. I'm going to turn on my heel, and to Smoke, I'm going to say, run. And then I'm going to charge headfirst at the Genasi. Try and tackle him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a tackle attempt. We're going to do a strength v strength on this tackle attempt. You know what? We're going to use a metal die for this. Because the weight feels like it's there. What'd you get?
8.
15. You tackle him. You come on in strong. And he grabs you by your left wrist and holds you up high. He pulls his large, long sword out, and he swings for where your shoulder meets your arm. I'm assuming a 24 hits.
It does.
The blade is hot. He swings so fast, you haven't seen him anybody draw a sword like this before. Comes out of the sheath in his back. The pommel has a purple gemstone, just like what you've seen being dug out of the sea below. It's got a gold ornate handle, which looks like it has been well worn by where he's gripping it. The blade itself, sharpened and clean, and it almost heats as he draws it out. He swings. We're going to see what kind of damage he does. "12 points of slashing damage as the blade goes through your arm and you fall to the ground. You guys, well, Jean, you watch as Crew is now missing his left arm, hitting the ground. The gentleman that just grabbed him throws his arm behind him, and you watch as the mimic jumps up almost like a dog catching a snack and snatches the arm and begins to munch. Meerkat, down below you just heard a large thump. Crew, do you scream out in pain?
I definitely do.
You hear Crew yelling. You hear the dwarves panicking, screaming in Dwarvish. You watch as one reaches over to the mimic and just tries to grab the hand back out, but the mimic snaps at him and he jumps back. He uses, the other one comes up with a metal rod that had been thrown down by Kumbo and just pries it out and throws the mimic across the room, and you watch as the Dwarven brothers try to begin to crawl down into the hole. Smoke comes running up to you, Crew, grabs your arm, your nub now, and begins to put pressure against it to make sure the wound doesn't bleed out. You have to stop. You can't keep doing this.
Smoke, you need to get out of here.
Just, you can't. You've got to run. We've got to take care of you. You're what he wants.
I'm right after you. Go.
John, what are you doing?
I'm watching the mimic. When the dwarf grabs Crew's arm and pulls it, does the mimic... because the player, Lazy Man Gamer, is a little confused as to how mimics work. Right. Does the mimic move on the ground as well, or does the mimic just kind of stick to everything? Like, could the mimic be picked up whilst holding something else?
Yes. So essentially, think of like the tongue is long. So the tongue is latched around the arm that's inside his mouth. One dwarf tried to reach in. The teeth snapped, so he didn't get his hand inside. So he jumps back. Then his brother came back with a almost like a rebar, and like prying gum off of the bottom of tables.
Yeah.
Did that to get the creature out of the hole.
Okay.
And so he may have thrown the rebar across the room with the creature attached to it still, but
so
it was an empty.
So would it be possible for me to grab that same piece of pipe with the mimic on it, hit something else, and stick the mimic to it? Or does the mimic have to like choose to stick to something? Is kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Does that make sense? So is it like one of those slappy hands where like, you know, whatever you slap it on, it sticks to it and pulls it back, you know? Or is it like, does it choose what it sticks to, like an octopus?
I feel like I'm going to regret this, but it's like a slappy hand.
Slappy hand, okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you my plan.
Okay.
And you can tell me if I can do this in one action or not. I want to try and shoot the barbarian in front of me, run over to the mimic, and grab it with this bar and potentially fling it. Is that something I can do in one turn?
As a rogue, you should have a bonus action disengage.
Okay.
So you can definitely disengage as a bonus action. I think it would take an action to throw and to fire. Do you have double attack?
Okay. No. So instead, I will use the disengage to get away from the barbarian.
You duck under his arm and it almost slams against the jail cell behind you.
And
slide over.
Yes, I'm going to pick up this bar and see if I can like entice the mimic to latch on to it.
It's still attached.
It's still attached? Okay.
Yeah, the bar stuck to it and he was able to pry it out.
So I'm just going to take that bar and heave the mimic and throw it at this air genasi.
Earth.
Yeah.
Earth genasi.
Earth
okay.
genasi.
You're launching a mimic. All right. I think I need to pull that stats out. Okay. Yes, you can throw the mimic. Going about 30 feet. So I want you to make a ranged attack. This isn't going to be necessarily like firing one of your arrows or one of your shots, so you don't have proficiency on it.
Yeah.
But
okay. Hey, another 18. Plus 3, just like regular dexterity, you know? So, yeah. 21.
Well, you're throwing it. That's strength.
What do you mean?
So, for a ranged weapon throw, it's strength.
Okay, so just 20 then.
Just 20? Okay. You watch as you launch this mimic through the air, and it almost begins to make a strange screaming sound as it goes through. And it slams into the back of this Earth Genasi, who rows in pain, right? Because he ends up taking 2d6 of bludgeoning damage for me.
Can I add my sneak attack die?
He is currently engaged with me.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Sweet. And can I mark him as a favorite foe?
No, because you got to use your bonus action.
All right. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, just 9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slams, and you watch as some acid kind of spews outside of this mimic a little bit as it slams into his back. So he's going to take 2 more points of acid damage on top of that. 11 points of damage.
Nice.
He screams in pain. You watch him kind of turn and glare at you for a brief second, and you watch as a shield pops from around his waist and begins to circle around his body and kind of floats around him now. I'll deal with you in a minute. Then he turns back and he points his longsword at Crew's throat and says, giving you one last chance. Give it to me now. And we can go ahead and roll for initiative if you guys would like.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Can I spend some time trying to get up to the hole entrance?
Yes. Yeah, remember you have to jump across, so I'd say you've been able to climb up, probably halfway up. It'll take another movement to be able to get out.
Okay, thanks.
How's that sound? Okay. Cool. How we doing there, Crew?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just imagining myself on a beach. Sipping an adult beverage.
Is that right?
The only way to get through the pain.
Hey, pain without love, right?
Exactly.
All right, 25 to 20.
21.
20 to 15. Oh boy. 15 to 10.
This is not going to end well.
We need to get y'all some boots of dexterity or something.
10 to 5? Oh my.
Yikes.
I mean, to be fair, Crew always rolls horrible on initiative, so
5 to 1.
2.
I got a 4.
Okay. We start off top of the round as Jean. You've thrown this mimic across the room. There's a barbarian standing between you, and we can actually pull this up on roll 20 and see where everything is at.
Good. Barbarian better not still be there. I ran away from him. And I was going to have you paint me a picture, because,
Paint you a picture.
yeah, I've lost track of where everybody is.
The dwarves are sight. So you're in this jail cell here. I don't know if you guys are open to it yet. Can you see it?
Yes.
I am.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, there are lots of jail cells, top and bottom. They entered in from the right side of the room, and they started making their way across to here. This is now where the Earth Genasi is standing, which is pretty much in the center of the space. We have our manhole here, where people are entering and exiting from, which is very close to the right side of the map. You have V still standing close to the door, the barbarian standing close to the manhole where he was resting against John right about here. You have your wonderful Drake kind of passed out on the ground over, more over here. So kind of a couple feet behind the Earth Genasi. Smoke is standing right about here, about 10 feet away from the Earth Genasi, trying to get Crew to stand up. And you have Kumbo over in the back, still holding a jail cell gate, kind of waiting for some orders. So the scene is set. You are a good, I don't know, looks like about 40 feet, about 30 feet away from the Earth Genasi that you just threw a Mimic at. Mimic looks like it's done from that colliding damage. It just kind of bit its master, and it's kind of in a panic now, and it's kind of crawled down. It's made its way into one of the jail cells. It's beginning to hide and shape into something different.
Okay.
You are on the looks like the other side of the manhole from this barbarian who is swinging a morning star.
Mm-hmm. Sean is in trouble.
What would you like to do, Jean?
I would like to take a look at my character sheet real quick. See what I can do. Yeah, we'll go kind of the safe route. I will pull out my flintlock and take a shot at the Earth Genasi.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know which dice to use. Not that one. 4 plus 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Yeah,
it pings off the back of that shield that's spinning around his body.
Okay. So I will step towards him to get next to Drake. And I will pull out my rapier. And let's see, that was 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I'll stay right there. Okay. And I'll yell out to Kumba. Kumba, attack nasty rock-looking thing.
Okay. Kumbo goes after you. He goes, okay, Kumbo, do so. And he takes the big old gate that he's holding, and he's going to chuck it at the, he's going to rage and then chuck it. Recklessly chuck it, so we'll do it with advantage. Unfortunately, it does miss. The gate goes flying and clatters almost over your head, Jean, and just slams behind you and slides pretty close to where you see it sticking out over the hole that you're climbing up. There, Lucas. You do see the brothers passing by you as you're going down. It is now the Earth Genasi's turn. He takes his blade and he, first of all, is going to swing it at Smoke to try to knock Smoke back off of his prey. He does hit, and he does 12 points of slashing damage to Smoke, almost pushing Smoke back a little bit with a scratch across Smoke's face. Smoke leans back and grabs their face as they're trying to recalculate what to do because they have no weapon to retaliate. He grabs his left blade and he swings it at the turtle on the ground. Rolling high tonight, but that does hit our poor turtle friend. And he's going to do 17 points of slashing damage against Crew.
Okay.
B going to continue to stand in the back, just watching almost as if in a trance, and just gonna say, oh, yeah. V is gonna move forward and cast Suggestion on Jean. Okay. This is not your concern or your problem. You should just leave. So you.
Is that a wisdom save?
Must make a wisdom save.
Okay. I knew I shouldn't have left old trusty last roll. 17.
17 passes. So you feel kind of a magic surge kind of come over you from this strange little gnome that walked up closer to you. Their eyes, they're glazed over, and when they try to cast this over you, it doesn't feel like it's really taking effect.
I'm going to look back at her and say, I'm the great Jean Lafayette. I've sailed the 7 seas. This is your last chance. Leave.
I don't think I will. I've dealt with many a pirate before. You won't be the last. Smoke is going to run their hand across Crew's body. They're just going to pat you on the chest and say, are you sure I can stay?
No. Go.
And they begin to get up and try to move past the Earth Genasi. The Earth Genasi misses with his backhanded swing as Smoke is able to dodge the attack and move to the other side of the Earth Genasi. Barbarian is going to rage, going to move forward, move up to Jean, and he's going to swing his Morning Star at Jean. Does a 26 hit?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad a 26 does not hit.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Try again. I'll give you advantage. Bet you won't hit.
26. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're going to take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
It slams against your body.
Have you ever not done something for so long that you begin to realize like how really bad you've gotten at it? I feel like I'm getting that way with math. Like simple addition and subtraction is starting to make me realize I should go back to school or something.
You are back in school.
Yeah, but like, you know, math school.
But D&D was supposed to help you with that.
51 minus 6 should not take as long as it just took me. The answer is 45, by the way.
He does swing again. And you watch as he goes to swing, eyes wide, super excited, and the Morning Star just suddenly slides out of his hands. And it scrapes across the ground and lands in front of Kumbo, and Kumbo goes, Kumbo-like. Lucas!
Yes, that's what we need. A Kumbo with a Morning Star.
Lucas, what would you like to do? You just watched this giant barbarian jumped over this hole and started towards Jean. You're hearing a lot of loud commotion above you. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll climb to the top of the ladder and just use my movement to get out into the hallway. And I guess this will be the first time that Lucas is seeing everything that's going on.
Yeah, there's a jail cell door in front of you that's been thrown. You almost have to kind of push it a little bit to get out. There's a gnome next to you that seems to have eyes glazed over. There's a barbarian. You watch just yeet a Morning Star across the room to Kumbo, and almost kind of like rage a little bit and panic. Jean, I don't know if Jean's smiling at this or not, but he seems to be not sweating the whole event at all. You see a large rock creature on the other side of Jean, and he's wearing again that pinstripe suit, and at his feet is Crew.
And I guess I would see Crew missing an arm in front of this person holding a bloody blade. I will cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
You can cast it 30 feet away from
I'm going to summon it there, and don't recognize the lady. Very far away. I guess I will cast Guiding Bolt at the Genasi standing over Crew. Ranged attack spell for 21 to hit.
21 does hit. Against who? Against me?
The Genasi. The big yellow guy.
Okay, what range attack spell are you doing?
Guiding Bolt.
Awesome. Yeah. 21 does hit. Go ahead and do your damage.
I don't like the sound of that, but okay. 19 points of damage.
19?
Yeah. 4d6.
Are you sure it's 19?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting.
And that changes my plans a little bit.
If I can get like 10 feet closer to Crew, I'll be able to help everybody. But I can't do anything else on my turn. Oh, no, I can't. I don't have my spiritual weapon next to me, but since I don't know who this lady is, I'm not going to attack her with it just yet.
Okay.
Or, no, Lucas hasn't met V, right? Did we meet V?
She was in the restaurant, but you may have just seen her in passing. You
Yeah.
didn't know who she is.
Yeah, I don't recognize her enough to know if she's helping me or not. So I'll leave it at that. The next attack against the Genasi has advantage.
Nice.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. Crew. You just lost your arm. It's almost like a smite went through your arm as you lost it. That's what cauterized this wound. It's bleeding a little bit, but not as badly as it should.
So I'm assuming I'm prone on the ground at this point.
Yes.
I'm going to use half my speed to stand up.
Okay.
I'm going to close any kind of gap there is between me and the Earth Genasi.
All right.
And I'm going to say, now it's your turn to feel your father's powers. And I'm going to jam my hand right into his face and cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
You watch as the magic leaves your body, and you're for sure, your hand is right on his face that you're going to slam against him. And for a brief moment, he panics as he realizes what spell you're going to cast. And then you watch as he raises his sword, and the gemstone that's at the pommel sucks up the entire magic, and it's almost as if it never hit.
Did you use advantage?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rolled a 3 and a 6.
Wasted.
I am rolling horribly tonight. Horribly.
It's okay, we got this.
Leave him. Let's get out of here.
I'm just going to use the rest of my movement to get past him.
Okay, you're gonna try to break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know he's going to get an attack opportunity, but so.
You're still within his thing right now.
Yeah. Which, because of the narrow of the alley, that's as far as I can go.
You can move by your allies, and remember that the
Well, I'd
bugbear
be-
is prone
I'd-
on the ground.
I'd be standing on him. So, I mean, I guess I can do that if you want me to.
If you'd like to.
Okay.
How much movement do you have?
It'd be 30, but I used half of it to stand up.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Dang, a 16 does not hit.
Does not.
Okay.
Like, just glances off my shell as I run past him.
You will not leave. This is my opportunity. I deserve the power. And he turns around and realizes it's not his turn. He has to wait for Jean. So, Jean, what are you gonna do, buddy?
Jean is going to use his rabbit hop to... Nope, not that button. To jump over the Earth Genasi. And as he does so, he's going to pull out his rapier, hopefully as the Air Genasi is turning, and try to stab him through the back.
Okay.
Okay, that is a 16 plus 5, 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
Okay, and then we're going to mark him as my favored foe. And that will be... $17 points of damage.
Okay.
Plus 2, 19.
Of course. This is fine. 19 points of damage. Again. This is fine.
And Jean is going to turn to Kumbo and say, "What are you waiting for? Join the fun."
Kumbo excited.
This is the smashery.
Forgot about that.
He's going to charge all the way forward, swinging the Morning Star and spinning it above his head, almost showing it off, and he's going to stand in front of the other barbarian. Lucas,
Yes.
what would you like to do, sir? Nope, that's not your turn. Lucas, you're standing there. Pretty. It's the bad guy's turn. I am Tifik Bandu.
Bless you.
First of my siblings, the oldest. This is my birthright. And he's going to
Do I
swing
get
his
an
sword.
attack of opportunity as he moves away from me?
Yes, sure. You
Okay.
can make an attack of opportunity as he moves away from you.
This is the big bad
Natural
of the campaign.
20.
Give him an extra 100 HP while you're there.
Yes.
Bullcrap. Sure, natural 20.
So do I double the dice or double the total? Does it matter?
Double the dice.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll 2 dice.
I'm gonna roll a fistful of dice is what I'm gonna do. I'm rolling 8 dice.
Yeah.
Is that 8 doubled?
The 8 is how many I'm rolling right now. Yeah, so normally 4.
Okay. I was about to get really excited.
Now bear with me while I do the math.
No escape from reality.
30.
30?
Yep.
Wow.
He turns around to go and attack Crew, and he almost stumbles as he does so. You watch his eyes get red, and he is going to see almost like his sword kind of light up a little bit as he does so. Not coming from the power of the sword, but from almost like within himself. You turn as you're looking at him, Cruz. He's coming back towards you, almost wide-eyed. You see that he's got a holy symbol on his chest, but it has a crack through it, almost like it's been split. Yet somehow he has managed to derive power from whatever deity that this holy symbol is associated with. Lucas, you're looking at this too, and as a cleric, you would know that the power of a holy symbol you can't be broken or destroyed unless the person that the symbol has been given to has decided to sever their connection to their god. He's going to swing his blade at Crew for a 21 to hit,
That hits.
and he is doing his divine smite on top of it. For 19 points of slashing damage against you.
Okay.
This is mine! And he swings again. Give it to me! And he whiffs. Pretty hard.
Didn't you learn to share?
Crew collapses.
He's going to then bend over and as his bonus action, or not his bonus, as his second attack, he's gonna flip your body over. V is controlled by me. He's going to turn to Lucas and is going to cast Suggestion. This is not your problem. It's time for you to go. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
+6 to my wisdom save.
Nice.
Oh, no. I rolled a 5. 11.
11?
Yeah.
She's right. It's not your problem. You should probably go.
Alright, everybody. Well, I'm gonna head out.
What?
I was just start climbing down the ladder, I guess.
Smoke's gonna go, no! And is gonna turn around and go back to Crew. You see her reach into a pocket and pulls out an old vial with some red liquid in it and dumps it into Crew's mouth. Take a normal healing potion's worth of healing. There, Crew.
So that's 2d4.
Uh-huh. Saving this. But we need you, Crew. He can't take your power. You said 7?
Yep, I got 7 back.
Awesome. Barbarian's going to try to grapple your turtle friend to try to get his weapon back. Their weapon back, excuse me. That was unsuccessful. They kind of dance around each other. It's very awkward. These two large, muscly creatures just standing face to face. Kumbo's laughing in their face. Lucas.
I Do I get a wisdom save at the end of my turn? Or is that the start?
It'll be at the end of your turn.
I guess I'll go 30 feet down the ladder and just whistle as I
Venite! Rápido! Rápido! You hear the doors below you. Come on, let's go! Let's go! Hurry!
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, just take your time. I'll see you back at the ship wherever we find it. And I'll make another wisdom save. I rolled a 4, so 10.
Yeah, it seems like a great idea to just
Yeah.
peace on out. Leave crew there. It's not your problem.
Oh,
Crew. Smoke is, you see, you're waking up, your eyes open up, smoke has poured a vial of liquid into your body, and the Earth Genasi is reaching down towards your neck.
I'm going to Smoke. I told you to leave.
I can't leave you. Not like this. This is not fair.
And I'm going to roll to the side so I'm not directly underneath the Earth Genasi anymore.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast an Eldritch Blast at him as I'm rolling.
Go for it.
Barrel roll blast. I cannot roll tonight. It was a 10 to hit.
If you've never tried to somersault and fire an Eldritch Blast at the same time.
With one arm.
With one arm. Yeah.
You've done it with 2.
It's what's causing the awkward dance to go on because you know your old barbarian friend's reaching out to try to grab Kumbo, and the Eldritch Blast goes between them, and they both jump back a little bit as they watch it slam against the gate.
So I'm going to use the rest of my movement to stand up, and 10 more to get there.
Okay, Jean.
Jean is going to take a hop forward, and again with the Earth Genasi's back to him, try and jab his rapier as deep into his back as he can.
Sure, Mr. Natural 20, that's fine.
That's just a 17 this time. Plus
That
whatever.
does not hit.
17 plus whatever. Sir, plus 5.
Oh, plus what?
22.
Oh, 22 does hit, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, it does. Let's see. There we go. 23.
23 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Still alive.
And then Jean...
Is he looking hurt?
He's looking hurt.
Jean's gonna take a little sidestep. And... Mr. Achu, I've got some business with you.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know, the guy like sneezed or something when he said his name.
T-Fek.
Bless you. I'm not gonna give him any respect.
He turns and glares at you. What?
Why don't you pick on somebody your own size? There's no one here in this room, so I mean, why don't go find a fight somewhere else? You don't seem to be doing very good at this one.
Smiles. I think you're right. Perhaps. Perhaps it's time to change the scene. And he's going to do a legendary action. I wish for everyone to see me in great royalty. The king that I am, with the power I deserve. You watch. That is out of the pommel of his blade. Out of the gemstone in the bottom of his blade comes out a genie. Purplish color. There's bracers on her wrists that have chains attached to them, and the chain seems to go back inside this gemstone, almost as if she's chained inside the gemstone in some strange way. Long black hair. Her complexion is a human, but her complexion is very Hispanic in nature. She looks tired and worn out. No blemish in her face, but you can tell there's almost bags under her eyes. She nods to the wish, and you watch as magic begins to spew from her body. I was lucky when I thought all hope was lost, when I was abandoned by my god. I was able to find one of my cousins. My cousins. Help me find my father's power and grant me the strength that is deserved for someone who's promised such a birthright. The magic spews from this woman's body. The room around you begins to change. You feel like you're being elevated to a higher place. The jail cells themselves shrink and turn more into birdcage-like things that hang from the roof. Smoke gets caught up in one and starts to begin to rise to the roof. A large throne begins to pop up at the end of the room, and it's elevated. He floats in the air. His pinstripe suit begins to change into kingly garb and robe with a long, fluffy cape. Royal purple colorations with a red cape that flows behind him with the white fur that kind of goes around the outside of this cape. He floats in the air and he lands on this throne, sitting almost like Odin does in the beginning of the Thor movie.
Do I get an attack of opportunity as he floats away?
No. The genie looks at you and shakes her finger.
It's because the genie knows what's up.
The genie knows what's up, yep. You watch as he's floating away, the chain gets longer and longer to the pommel of his blade. He heals from all damage that he has taken before. It's almost like as if nothing has been happened to him at all. His the fedora that he's been wearing on his head is now a gold crown with many jewels. The room itself shifts and changes into cobblestone and well-cut stone with pillars in the middle, causing its shifting and shaping into almost like a castle-type room, a large throne room. A red carpet goes down the middle, and the pillars that are around are laden with gold and silver, almost kind of spiraling, making a spiral to the top of the roof. John, it's a strange sensation to watch this happen because you know you almost had him. He was almost like if you could give a number like at 16 health. Lucas, you're pulled back into this room, almost shunted. You're not sure what's going on. The dwarves aren't there anymore, but you've definitely been pulled back into this room. And crew, this genie turns towards you, and no one else notices this but you. But you guys almost lock eyes for a moment. And now as all this is happening fast for everybody else, this is moving very slow for you. She mouths the words, "Stop him." He floats over to you. She taps your ring before you watch her get shunted and pulled back into the pommel of the blade. But innately, you know that you can choose yourself and 2 other creatures to be fully healed, replenish their spell slots, and begin anew if you wanted to. The only thing she wasn't able to do is bring back your arm. Who do you choose?
Well, obviously me. Are either of y'all hurt at all?
Barely.
No, I'm not.
No.
How can he tap his own ring on his finger?
With my nose.
The ring is on a necklace, right? You carry it on a necklace around your
Yeah,
neck.
it's on a necklace, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be better to use it on, what's his name? Drake, who's just kind of...
Oh yeah, you could use it on Drake.
Face smashed there.
And then, question. You said it restores health and spell slots. Does that include like any kind of like trances? Like would it remove anything like that? Like any kind of like mind control or anything? Basically what I'm asking is I can tell that V is under some kind of spell of his. If I use it on her, would it remove that?
Oh. Yeah. Yes.
So I'll choose me, Drake, and her.
Okay. And when that hits her, and it's strange, right? Because you watch, it's almost like a magic coming out of you. You look to these people and you watch like an awakening happen. Drake begins to breathe slowly, and crew, you're the only one that notices this, that Drake is breathing. You notice as V, the fog that's over her eyes begins to almost fall like scales from her eyes and disappear. She kind of turns her eyes briefly to look at you with almost like a panic. in her face. And when you notice that panic, a strange sensation comes over Lucas. And Lucas, it's almost like somebody gave you some bad coffee. And you're just realizing it's not very good coffee, and you don't want to do whatever you were told to do a while ago.
Theory. He used a wish spell in his sword to change Tortune.
That is actually a very good theory. That would explain why it happened in 2 weeks. Or he used it to plant all the gemstone in the harbor.
Right. How many wishes does he have?
Not enough.
The V and the Barbarian, well, no. The Barbarians are just scuffle. They didn't really notice the magic happening, and they're fighting over the Morning Star. V got moved up kind of almost to a vizier spot close to the front. Breaks kind of a little bit off of in the distance over this direction. Not quite up top, but at the base of the floor, kind of face down and beginning to breathe again. Smoke is up in a cage in the air. Okay? I think that's kind of where everybody would be at. Does it feel pretty good?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yep.
Lucas is kind of close to Drake. Jean was pretty close to the encounter in the first place, and so he's seeing the throne, but hasn't quite moved away from the throne area yet. It's Kumbo's turn, because this is a legendary action, so it's Kumbo's turn. Kumbo is going to try to hit the other barbarian with this Morning Star. Kumbo-like! And Kumbo swings it and smashes against the face of this other barbarian. Kumbo kill. And he's going to do 10 points of piercing damage against him. He's going to swing it again. Oh, wait, he can add his rage, so that's another 4. He's going to swing it again. And he hits still, amazingly, even though it's a low roll. 17 points of damage against him. And it does not look like he's very happy. He's being smashed in the...
I mean, who would?
Yeah. The average individual's not.
Yeah. Tefik stands up, brushes his cape behind him, and he smiles. He goes, "You see, I've already got some power. I've already earned my birthright. Just hand it over before more damage comes to you, crew." He's going to step over without really looking at Jean. I'll walk over to Jean, and he's going to swing his blade, try to hit Jean. And he's going to miss. He then looks more intently at Jean. And I'm guessing a 23 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to some smite damage to that as well. $25 points of damage.
Okay. Come on.
I am done dealing with you. I'll remove your pathetic friends one by one unless you give me what I want.
Was there any kind of magical damage that was done?
So yes, because it's divine magic, right?
Okay.
So the divine magic in total was 8.
Is that is divine something you can use to absorb elements on? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
V's gonna turn and look at him and say, No. You've done enough. This is enough. And you watch as she casts a large earth hand comes out of the ground as she points in his direction, and it's gonna come up and just grab him. And he's going to make a strength saving throw to see if he's grabbed. That's 3 on the die, so 7 in total. So you watch as this giant earth hand comes out of the ground, and she watches. She moves and she swings her hand forward, and as she does, her whole body moves. The hand moves as well, and it grasps Christine, strains Genasi in front of him. In front of it, that person's going to take 2d6. So he's going to take 2d6 bludgeoning damage from that. Smoke is going to scream, "Yeah, good job, V!" And it's the other barbarian's turn, who's going to try to grapple Kumbo and is unable to do so. Lucas, what you doing? What you gonna do, Lucas? This weird haze, and are now getting in the middle of a combat.
Did my spiritual weapon come with us?
Yes, it is standing by V right now.
Oh. I guess I see her attack the Genasi, so I'm going to assume that she's on our side for now. And I think I can move the spiritual weapon bonus action 20 feet. Is it only 20 feet? Alright, I'm going to move it 20 feet as a bonus
sorry,
action.
I meant for it to be here. Not where I had it.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it can get right there.
Perfect.
Bonus action 20 feet.
Well, that is a good question. Would you have dispelled your spiritual weapon if you were like, all right, I'm leaving?
Yeah, that is, yeah. I think I would have, because everything's A-okay.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, it is not there. My bad.
No, you're
Would
good.
he have thought to dispel it since he was under a magical influence and not thinking for himself?
I think it would have been like, everything's good. Oh, okay. And then, I don't care.
You probably would have lost concentration, because I'm assuming there's concentration, right?
Yeah. No? Is it?
Spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
It is not. It's more exciting if he loses it. So the barbarian that's fighting Kumbo.
Yes.
Is this a new character? I can't remember.
This is the same well, you wouldn't have noticed this barbarian, but it was sitting across from V when y'all first arrived.
I guess I'm gonna Lucas is going to help Kumbo. Vaguely recognizes the guy, and I guess wouldn't be attacking our ally. Hopefully get some flanking, maybe some advantage with
Sure.
Franz attacking him.
The first time he's used Franz in combat without throwing Franz across the room. Hopefully.
Spring up the back of the head. Bonk.
Okay. Go for it.
19 to hit.
A 19 does hit.
Or 2 points of damage.
He is raging. Well, no, he hasn't. Well, yes, he is raging, so it is halved to 1.
Every little bit helps, Lucas.
Yeah.
You've done more damage than I have.
He puts his hand behind his head and swats it like a fly.
It almost bounces back and hits me in the head. That's it.
Okay. Crew.
Crew is going to, now that he's feeling full of energy again, is just going to march up to the Earth Genasi
Okay.
and is going to say, you really have some daddy issues you need to work on. And I'm going to bonus action Hex, and then I'm going to Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay. Are you making an attack?
Yes.
Attack rolls against a restrained creature has advantage.
17.
Does not hit.
He's restrained.
He's restrained by
Yeah,
this
Oh,
large
the
thing.
hand.
thing.
Ah,
V restrained him.
Ooh la la.
That's it for me.
Okay. Jean.
Jean will pull out his rapier once more and slice across the chest of the Earth Genasi. That is not as good. 18 to hit.
18 does not hit. That shield that flies around his body swings in front and you ting right against it.
Nameless.
What's that?
Nameless.
Yeah. Nameless. Do you call him?
Yeah.
All right. Where does he spawn?
Right next to me, between me and Crew. Kind of right, just in front of the guy, but right at my feet. And so this is kind of like the first time I'm doing this, but I remember the poison. Yeah, I remember the poison from the mimic, like burning him.
Oh, the acid?
Yeah, the acid. So as I am calling Nameless, like in my brain, I'm like, I could really use a little something extra like that. And so when he pops in this time, instead of like his normal icy blue, he's like a jet black with kind of a like peach underbelly, and he's got a much longer snake-like tongue.
So is he like completely unrecognizable to us, or is he still recognizable enough that we know who it is?
He's got like the same shape, but his color is completely different. So you would notice it as the same creature, whether you realize it's this exact same one or not is kind of up to you.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
I was waiting for you in the bushes, Master.
Yes.
Why?
Well,
Why are we in a castle now?
Because we've got 2 birds in this bush that we need to kill real quick. And John's gonna point his rapier at the Earth Genasi.
Doesn't look like a bush to me.
Well,
It looks like a big rock hand.
use your imagination and help me kill it.
Imagination. Goombo is gonna laugh, and he's gonna swing that Morning Star twice. He's gonna hit once, so he's not laughing as hard as he was. He does 12 damage, and then realizing that the enemy's raging, he actually does 16 damage because he's also raging, and so, but it is cut in half, so he's only doing 8 damage to this barbarian. Okay. B is going to. Oh nope, it's Tifik's turn. He is super excited for his. He does not want to be held by this giant hand, so he's going to cast. Well, it stinks actually. He's going to cast Binding Smite. Sorry, Blinding Smite.
Counterspell.
Ooh.
Okay. And he casts it, and he goes to swing his sword against Jean, and eyes get real big when he realizes that the smite has vanished. And you watch as this blade flies out of his hands. He goes, "No!" He begins to slam against the earthen grasp that has it. B is going to squeeze tightly and do 11 points of damage against him. Smoke is going to continue to cheer you guys on as you hear her, correct?
Her, yes.
Yep, as you hear her picking the lock from her birdcage above. Barbarian is going to attempt to grapple. Is unsuccessful. Barbarian sucks. Lucas.
What's happening with Drake?
Oh! Drake is going to take the last initiative. He rolled a natural 1 for his initiative. I think his last turn you saw him chugging a bottle of alcohol real quick that he randomly pulled out of his back pocket.
Drake, I thought we got all that alcohol off of you.
We'll talk about this later.
I will cast Bless on myself, John, and crew. You add a d4 to your attack rolls and saving throws
Awesome.
Nice.
for the next 10 rounds.
Sweet. Anything else, Mr. Lucas?
That's it.
A crew.
Crew, getting frustrated that he has not been able to hit him, goes to reach down to grab his axe and realizes that it is on the side that is now missing an arm. Gets frustrated again. You're really gonna pay for that. And I'm going to again shoot an Eldritch Blast up at his face.
Okay, do it. You
And
won't.
he's still grappled, right?
He's still grappled, yes. He's still restrained.
Or restrained.
So you get advantage.
Advantage.
And d4.
And another d4, yeah.
23.
23 hits.
Nice.
2d10.
Crew looks really mad, Master.
Yes, he's had a rough go of it.
Are you still best friends?
Yes, I'm about maybe 1/7 less of his friend.
So I can roll 2d10s. I roll 2 1s.
That sucks.
So it's 4 points of force damage, but then I am going to
Have a
Add
hard,
my-
long talk with your dice is what you're going to do.
Yes, I'm going to after this. I'm going to buy all new dice.
You say that every week.
But I get to add a +2 for bludgeoning damage +2 for agonizing blast.
So
So that's 6. And then I can also add in my Genie's Wrath, which is my proficiency. So 3 points of bludgeoning. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to use Maddening Hex, which gets another 3 points of psychic damage.
he's pretty frustrated. Okay. Good turn. Drake stands up. You see him kind of wobble for a second there, Lucas, and then it's almost like a flash of lightning, right? Like the flash running through the room. He spawns right next to you, gives you a high five, and then he attacks this barbarian with his unarmed strike.
Yeah.
I love monks. Monks are fun. He whiffs, shakes it off. He goes again. Hits. Actually, hit both times. Never mind. He's gonna do 15 points of bludgeoning damage, cut in half, which is up to 8 points of damage. He's gonna wink at you and say, "Watch this." He's going to whistle for his dancing sword to come out, and the dancing sword's gonna make an attack for a natural 20. It comes flying out of nowhere and begins to dance around him. For another 11 points of slashing damage, cut in half, which is 6. And he's going to do a flurry of blows. So he's going to do 2 more unarmed strikes. That both hit.
Or Adarath.
For another 11 points of damage, cut in half for 6. So Adarath just gets getting pummeled from your drunken master, who's just kind of wobbling a little bit. Then he goes for another high five with Lucas. Are you gonna leave him hanging?
Yeah.
Nice. Jean, you hear Drake get up, and he's doing what he has done in the past. You kind of turn from the corner of your eye, you can see this barbarian just getting pummeled all over the face.
Jean's going to smirk at the Earth Genasi, stow his rapier, and walk over to the sword.
Okay.
He's gonna
Alright.
pick it up.
Okay, it's a longsword.
Okay, he's gonna locate whatever the gem was that he saw the genie popping out of earlier.
Okay.
And he's going to rub it and whisper into it. And I'm gonna put that in the chat and you can tell me what happens.
Gosh. You watch as Jean walks over and picks this up, crew. And he almost whispers into this gem and then kisses it. The blade shoots into the air and begins to spin a little bit. And you watch as it slams into the ceiling above. It shoots this woman out as she slams against the ground. Tifa goes, "No! No!" And you watch as the chains begin to vanish from her body and from inside the stone as the gemstone begins to crack and it shatters as the chains begin to vanish from her body. She turns to Jean and says, "Thank you." And a small portal opens up next to her. She waves her hands and you realize this is plane shift she's casting. And she goes through to Jean. You're the only one that really sees this other side of this portal, and it's hard to explain because your mind can almost not comprehend what you're seeing on the other side. There are land masses, but they're of the wrong color. Purple, blues, greens. And there are some strange buildings on the other side that are more almost like poop shaped. Kind of that swirly poop.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about with like holes in the side and stuff?
Yeah.
The stars don't match the stars that you recognize from this side. She goes through and the portal vanishes.
John's gonna tip his hat to her as she steps through.
The structure you're in is still there. It doesn't begin to shatter or anything, but you almost begin to feel a shift in the room a little bit when that happens. I mean, you notice that as you're looking up, a crack is beginning to form where the blade hit in the roof. Kumbo, going to say, yeah, and miss both of his attacks because he's so baffled by this strange thing that Jean just did. Kumbo like! And he kind of wildly swings. Tifik is going to try to break out of his earthen grasp. And is unable to do so. That's fun. So V will just do another 7 points of damage to him. Yells out in frustration, "No! It's not supposed to be this way! This is my birthright! What are you doing? Give it to me!" And he's like reaching out, almost trying to grab Crew from his grasp, trying to reach out and grab it. Smoke is unsuccessful in breaking the lock so far, but it's because her cage is now swinging in the air from the force of the sword slamming against the roof. The barbarian still unsuccessful in trying to grab the grapple. He's going to turn and try to punch Drake, and also unsuccessful in that as well, because dice are fun. Okay. Lucas, what are we going to do here? The tides have turned.
I am going to cast Command on both at second level on the Barbarian and the Genasi and say halt and hopefully stop them from taking their next turn.
Casting command?
Yeah. It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, okay. The Earth Genasi passes.
14 is the save.
Yeah, he is 17 on the die.
Yep.
And the Barbarian got an 18 on the die.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh well. That's my turn.
Crew?
I'm going to first just bonus action Maddening Hex. So he takes 3 points of psychic damage again.
Okay, he growls in pain.
You see, your dad gave this power to me, not you. And it's because you're a whiny baby. I'm going to shoot another Eldritch Blast up at him.
Okay.
For a 19.
19 will hit. You notice when the magic broke, he lost concentration on his shield.
So 2d10. That's better. 16 points of force damage.
Okay.
And 3 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. Was my right? Mine alone! It's Drake's turn. Drake is going to punch again. He makes one punch. He punch. For 6, cuts that in half. It's 3. The sword's gonna make its attack. It hits. For 10. Cut in half. It's 5. Then he turns and looks at Crew and at Lucas, and he goes, "I'm gonna need a minute." And he pulls out another drink and he begins to swig. Jean.
Jean is going to walk back to in front of this guy, pull out his flintlock, level it at him, and say, "I'll make sure your tombstone is nice," and then fire around.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, my computer's being real slow. 26 to hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hits.
Lucas, the extra D4, is that just once, or is it forever during the 10 minutes? Or 1 minute?
It's all the time.
Okay.
Unless I lose concentration.
Okay. I'll keep that out then. So then, damage.
Oh crap, he's got sneak attack and crap too.
Yeah, and the favored foe. We'll see. It's not great.
Is what you call DPS?
Yeah.
19 damage.
Okay.
Sorry. I wanted to do the infused.
39 damage.
I wanted to do the infused strike as well. Can I add that in? From Nameless?
Oh, okay. What is that?
It's just an extra d6 poison.
Acid or poison?
Acid.
Okay. Yeah. 19 plus 6. That's going to be...
And if, well, sorry, a d6, so it's 4.
Oh, 19 plus 4.
Yeah.
It's going to be 23. Okay. Still alive, but he's not looking too great. Okay. What else are you doing, Mr. John?
That's it.
Okay. Kumbo, going for the swings. Kumbo. Kumbo hits once. He celebrates with his hit. Okay. So 12 for another 6. And he's celebrating so hard that you watch as he throws the Morning Star across the room. He goes, uh-oh. He begins to run after it. Tifik is going to attempt to break out of this earthen grasp. He successfully does so. Jumps down. And he's going to attempt to tackle and try to wrap his arms around Crew and try to take the necklace off her. Strength be strength.
16.
So he got 22.
No.
And he goes and he's tackled you and he's going to, on his next turn, if you guys are still in the grass, he's going to try to sleight of hand the chain and the ring off you. V is going to afraid to use that earthen grasp because now that you guys are entangled, doesn't want to try to grab you both at the same time. When you try to consider fireball for a second.
Oh wait. Never mind.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do I get that blessed on that? But even that wouldn't have been enough, so it's fine.
Yeah. She's gonna cast Witch Bolt, which is a fantastic spell. Beam of crackling blue energy lances toward out of her body, almost like an arc of lightning. Spell attack against him to see if she hits, and she does hit, and it's going to do D12 lightning damage to him. Or a full 12, of course. Almost like riles in pain as he's trying to deal with this. He screams, "No! I almost have it! Give it to me! Not a child! I deserve this!" Smoke. Natural 20 on breaking the lock. And is now underneath the cage and is kind of got it as a grasp and trying to swing to try to latch onto one of the pillars to be able to slide down. Barbarian is going to run over and pick up the Morning Star. Drunken Master makes an opportunity attack and misses. What about does our hook decide to as well?
What, sorry?
The Barbarian is moving away from you. He'll make an opportunity attack.
Yes.
Okay.
Please. And D4. 20.
20. Yeah, that hits.
4 points of damage.
Alright, cut in half.
No.
Oh man. He picks up they pick up the Morning Star and go to make an attack against Kumbo because they are tired of Kumbo hitting them with it. They miss twice.
Kumbo's just better. It's built different.
Accurate. Lucas, it's your turn, buddy.
Running out of spell slots. Gonna go up to the Barbarian and I guess hit him again with Hans. Franz.
Okay.
7 to hit.
No. Crew, buddy, what are you doing? Oh my gosh.
So
I'm sorry.
he's on top of me, right? So
Yeah.
I am going to say, "Get off of me," and I'm going to try and push. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to use poison spray, which
Okay.
he has to do a Constitution saving throw.
A 10.
That fails. So 2d12.
Ooh.
14 points of damage.
Okay.
Plus my Maddening Hex, which is, as a bonus action, Maddening Hex, a 2 points of psychic damage.
You watch as he looks at you as this is coming out and begins to cough and no. I deserve this more than my siblings.
But apparently none of them deserve it as much as I do.
And with that, his eyes roll behind his head. How do you want to do this?
So as that spray just covers his face and his eyes roll back and he falls down, I'm just going to stand over him and be like, so tell all your siblings they're not going to have this power. It is mine. I am keeping it. So don't even try.
And with that, he falls over and goes limp. If you feel... Go ahead.
I was going to start just running over to everybody and seeing if they're okay.
The glaze starts coming off your barbarian's eyes. And as the room begins to shake and almost like an earthquake begins to happen where you're at, you notice the blade clatters to the ground as the roof itself begins to split open. You're realizing all pretty quick that you no longer want to be inside this building, castle, factory, whatever it's supposed to be.
Everybody, run.
And with that, we'll end the episode.
John runs over and grabs the sword.
And as you begin to run out, Jean grabs the sword.
Crew just rolls his eyes at him.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for sticking around for such a long episode. And next time, we'll be deadly serious next time.
Crew's never serious.
Peace. Dun, 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 dun.